Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back once again to JJ's PC Builds. You know what it is, right here with you. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. And I've seen we got a couple new subscribers. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the community. And also to my veteran subscribers, as always, much love to you for all that you do, supporting the channel, watching videos from beginning to end, and telling your friends to come on down and to subscribe. Okay, what we're doing today is, just to let you know, today is going to be an Nvidia software day. Nvidia had a software done on the, I think it was like the 26th or something like that. We'll get to it, but they did an update. I figure I'd bring it. Yeah, they did it on the 26th of this month. So I know it's the 30th. It's like 4 days later. But I like to test out the drivers and make sure you got your drink and snacks, by the way. I do. I like to take a couple days to test out the drivers and the software to see if it's really working the way they say it's working. So what we'll do is we'll go to the action screen and we'll have a look and see what it's about. See, I slid y'all to the action screen. Let's see if we can pull up some DuckDuckGo. Here we go. There we go. And let's go to, I think I already got the official driver site. I'll just go ahead and click on it really quick since it's already there. So we hit search. And there we go. Let's see. 1026 drivers 545.92. This is for the RTX 4070. We'll go back and before we jump into it, we'll see if the 4090 and the 4070 have the same drivers. Yep. So as you can see, they have the same drivers. We'll go back again and we'll go down to the 4070 and now we'll take a look. Okay, so I'm just going to repeat what they said on here. This is a new game-ready driver, provides the best gaming experience for the latest new games, supported DLSS 3.5 technology and DLSS ray reconstruction, including Alan Wake 2, and additionally game-ready driver support for the launch of titles supporting Nvidia DLSS 3 technology, including Ghost Runner 2, which I think I got Ghost Runner 2, and we'll check that out again. Okay, and they got their bugs and fixes. They say it's about VR, and, you know, maybe one time I'll find where my VR glasses are, and we'll take a gander at VR. But it looks like that they're doing the upgrade support for Alan Wake 2. So I know that game's $50, but you know, in time I'll get the game. So I'm not rushing into it. There's other games out there that I can benchmark with. So we'll think about that. Okay. So now I'm bringing you to the reasoning of the articles to see if there's anything that they got in there that's really of use. I hate to say that like that, but it's usually too, because it's like a blah, blah, blah. And y'all don't want me to do a 50-minute video on driver upgrades. So I'm just glancing through it really quick, and y'all can read as you go along. And if you want to stop the video just to take and read what they have there, then you're more than happy to do so. Okay, I don't want to bore you all to death about what they're trying to say. So we can look at this little clip, and let's do that. Yeah.
Mini Entertainment's Alan Wake 2 is the highly anticipated sequel to the Alan Wake franchise and represents the latest in cutting-edge RTX technologies powered by Geforce RTX 40 series. Geforce gamers will embark on two terrifying journeys through two expansive worlds, while being immersed in the highest level of visual fidelity and incredibly fast performance thanks to full ray tracing and AI-powered Nvidia DLSS 3.5 with ray reconstruction. Alan Wake 2's full ray tracing realistically simulates all the properties of light throughout each of its 3 distinct Pacific Northwest locations. Physically accurate shadows precisely model how light sources interact within a scene, and full resolution reflections add more depth and immersion to the world of the game. Nvidia DLSS 3.5 with ray reconstruction introduces a new AI-powered technique that enhances ray-traced image quality for all Geforce RTX GPUs. Objects with fine detail have better temporal stability. Lighting is more responsive, resolving light rays faster than before. And reflections also have greater detail and are more responsive, especially in motion. In addition, DLSS frame generation uses AI to multiply performance, allowing GeForce RTX 40 series gamers to experience Alan Wake 2 with full ray tracing at maximum frame rates. Full ray tracing and DLSS 3.5 are the result of years of hard work, and we're excited for gamers to experience them in Alan Wake 2 at launch with GeForce RTX 40 series.
Alrighty, now we went through that little presentation of what it's talking about. You know, I think it's going to be interesting, especially if you got the RTX 40 series or you get the RTX 30 series. I think that's going to be interesting. But if you got the 40 series, then, you know, it's definitely going to make a big difference for you. A lot of people are saying that, you know, they're getting low frame rates with that new game, the Alan Wake 2. So that's what they're claiming and everything else. But there's some that are claiming that it's not happening like that. That it's probably in their settings. You know, they probably don't have everything set up 100% to be able to get that full, you know, that full effect of that game. So, and from what I've been, reading through and everything else, you know, you got some over here that are having a tough time and crashes and everything else. And on the other hand, over on this side, you got people that are just having extreme great gameplay. So until I test it for myself, my opinion on this, it looks like a great game and it looks like something I would test in the future. So do stick around for that because we will have something on that as well. But as far as the driver's upgrades, you know, from what I'm seeing is that, you know, DLSS 3.5 is going to be the new thing, you know, for Nvidia. Even though Nvidia's got some new stuff cooking out there, you know, I'm not going to go through this video here because I've already went through that video. But I'm sure, you know, I'm going to look at, you know, this says this is at 4K. Okay, I'm going to break it down to y'all. It looks like it says it's from 4K, but they're using the i9 12900, 32 gigs of RAM with Windows 11. Okay, and getting this score with the super resolution performance mode, you know. So looks like they got everything cranked up. So with it off, they get 32.8 frames per second, and that's for the 4090. And with it on, they're getting 134.4 frames per second. Okay, the 4080 with it off is getting 22.2, and with it on, they're getting 103.9. Just say 104. 4070 Ti, they're getting 17.4, but with it on, they're getting 82.2. So I would imagine if I were to take my calculator out, just to first say, I know how y'all love the calculator. Okay, let's see the difference between the 32.8 and we minus that from the 22.2. There's a 10.6 FPS difference between the 4090 and 4080. So this is how we're going to keep our brain in check. So what we're going to say here is that from the 4070 or from the 4090 to the 4080 is a 10.6 FPS difference. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at the factor of from the 4080 to the 4070. So let's go ahead and do the 22.2 minus that from the 17.4. I'm trying to establish a baseline. Okay, so there's a 4.8 FPS difference between those two. So looking at this, now we can say from the 4080 to the 4070 Ti is a 4.8 FPS difference. Okay, so now you're wondering why I'm doing this. This is all going to make sense in a little bit, as they're talking about DLSS 3.5. Okay, I'm looking at the numbers going from the 4090 to the 4080 and from the 4080 to the 4070 Ti. I want to know what the numbers are going to be from the 4070 Ti to the 4070. Okay, so, and from what I'm seeing, now to figure this out, if that's the case, between the 4080 and 4070, just if, I took 17.4 and I minused it from the 4.8, I would get a 12.6, I would imagine. And the reason why I'm saying is because there's a bigger there's a wider difference between the 4090 and the 4080. Okay, between the 4080 and 4070 Ti, there's not much of a difference. Now, thinking about the amount of uplift that the 4070 Ti has to the 4070, there's another way to find this out. So what you do is you take and you go and you look at the RTX 4070 Ti specs. Okay, so now pulling up the specs for the 4070 Ti, if you want to do it this way, it's up to you. You know, you don't have to do it this way. Okay, so you're looking at a 20% difference. Okay, between the 4070 and the 4070 Ti. You're looking at a 20% difference. So thinking about the 20% difference, it could be the same number I just gave you, or it could be less. So thinking about that, you know, I mean, you can do 17.4 and divide that by 20%. Gives you 0.2 on the difference. So, Yep, that's pretty much what it focuses down to. You know, thinking about the numbers and everything else, you know, going down to the 4.8, there might be like maybe 5 to maybe 7%. Well, might be a 7% difference. So, thinking in my mind, say from the 4070 Ti, from the 4070 Ti to the 4070. Make sure I spell everything right. Is it's a 20% difference from the 4070 to the 4070 Ti. So I'm going to say there's a 10% difference. There's a 10% difference when it comes to the game, knowing if you have DLSS on or off. This is DLSS off. So I would say there might be a 7.4. That's what it is. FPS difference. Okay, this is just average. This is just going through my opinions on this. Okay, so basically, you know, you can get, you know, like, let's say, you know, you can say estimated actual, let's say between 10.0 to maybe 13.6. Okay. So that's what my thought is. You know, with the 4070 on the low side, you know, I think it's about that much of a difference for your 4070. Your 4070 Ti, they already got it shown here, but I'm thinking it's about maybe 13.6. Okay, give or take between 10 and 13.6. That's the reason why is because the 4070 hasn't been tested out on in the mainstream on Alan Wake 2. I don't think. If it is out there, make sure you leave a comment below. Let me know where you found it at so I can get my numbers straight. But I think on the low side for the RTX 4070, it's going to give between 10 and 13.6 FPS on the low side, but on the high side, I think it'll stretch in between 68 high side, between 68 to maybe 79 FPS, I would say. And that's just for the 4070. So that's kind of my conclusion on that, looking at that. But understand, I have not tested this yet on Alan Wake 2. I haven't seen the testing results. So I'm estimating in my mind what it actually could be, not in full actual, but it's close. And if you guys play it and you get those numbers and they're exactly the same, let me know in the comments below. But if yours are a little bit higher, definitely let me know. So this way, you got a little bit of a benchmark on it. But from what I'm seeing on a 4070 Ti and that 20% difference, I mean, you're looking in between 60 and 80 on the high, and you're looking in between 10 and 13 on the low, because there's a 20% difference between the two. On an average, not actual, on an average. This is not actual numbers. I'm just estimating what the 4070, what numbers I would look forward to when I start playing that game. What's on the low side and what's on the high side. So this gives me a benchmark of what I think the numbers should be. Okay. But, and if I'm wrong about it and the numbers are a lot higher than this, I will find out, because I will get Alan Wake sooner or later. So I'm kind of saving my pennies up for picking certain games that I'm going to be using for benchmarking. That's going to be lasting a long time. I'm still up in the air about the cyberpunk and stuff like that, So that's just my thing, my little skinny. But from what I see right now, we're not going to save that, because that's what makes it more better when I put it into mystery. That's something, those numbers that I put out there, I'm not going to save them because I got them locked in my brain. So that makes it a big difference. Okay, so at full ray tracing, it looks like it gets a lot higher. Oh, and they do have the benchmark for the 4070. Look at that. Oh my God. And look, it's a lot. Look at the numbers. And I calculated a lot lower than what they have right here. Can you figure that one out? I said between 60 and 70, or 60 and 80, they got 91.9 for the 4070. And I said between 10 and 13, they got 28. And I didn't even look at this page yet, believe it or not. This is the first time I'm looking at these benchmarks. And I did not look at these benchmarks whatsoever. So let's keep moving down the road and see if we see anything else. 1080p. This is my hometown right here. 1080p. 4080. This looks like it. The GPU performance, ray tracing high, full ray tracing preset, max setting, DLSS 3.5 on, super resolution quality. Okay, so they're using, and to get these benchmarks, they're using the i9 12900K. Okay, my processor is equal to the i9 or the I it's one of those I's, but it's the 12 it's 12700K. That's what it's equal to. So it's not that far off from what these numbers are saying. So equivalent wise, I know what my CPU is going to do. But this is a 4060, the 4060 Ti, the 4070, 4070 Ti, 4080, and 4090. 4060, they're on the DLSS 3.5, 82, the 60 Ti, 100, the 4070, 129.7, which if they're saying that, I know when I go to benchmark it, I'm hoping to get double, almost close to double that number. 4070 Ti, they say 154. 4080, they're saying 181, and the 4090, they're saying 195. But me, I'm saying about 229 on my system. I'm not crazy neither. A lot of people had questions about the fact of when I ran that one game, if I was cheating the game or not. And the answer is no. And I'm going to state this, every game I play, there is no cheating these. Every game I benchmark, there's no cheating this. You get the actual numbers. I show you the first time benchmarking. Okay. When I benchmark with that game, that's an actual first time benchmark. So if your curiosity in your mind is, was the game good enough? Was it bad enough or anything else? I don't know. You all tell me. I benchmarked it for the first time. And I wanted to bring that to you all. I wanted to bring that game to you all to let y'all know. The Naraka. Okay, I wanted to bring that all to you guys. And Nvidia was the one that had it on the recommendation for that game, for the updates and upgrades on that game. So all I did was test out what they had there. And that was for the first time. And when I downloaded it, and to me, it ran awesome. Okay. If I were to turn off of everything, it would have brought my numbers down to in the 70s on the low. And then on the high, I was over 200 plus. So that's not bad. And that's with DLSS on. And I think it was on the medium track. I had it on the medium with DLSS on. And, for 200 FPS, I'm not going to complain. Plus, the graphics look great, too, so I'm not going to complain about that neither. So, if you want to see more of what's going on here, you're more than happy to come to NVIDIA's website and check it out for yourself. And if you do have the 4070, definitely go check out the NVIDIA site on your own. Do your homework. Do your testing. If you got the 4070, the 4070 Ti, 4080, 4080 Ti, or if there is a Ti, and the 4090, do your own testing with the processor you have. See if you got all your ducks in a row. See if you're bottlenecking with your GPU or your CPU. And 9 out of 10 chances, you'll end up. Everybody says this. And I wish everybody would stop saying this. Unless you have a processor that's well below the 5000 series for AM4, or you got a processor that's down below the 12th gen series. Don't say that, you can't get more FPS out of your graphics card, and you can't figure out why. I've said it in many videos, and I'll tell you again. If your CPU's not set up correctly, you can wind up having the fastest CPU in the world, but you can bottleneck your GPU with your CPU. If you don't balance it out, if you don't balance the two together and have a great balance, you can bottleneck your GPU, especially if you're using the 4070. And I've heard from many people that their 4070 gets bottlenecked with the 7000 series, with the X3D 7000 series processors from AMD. That even the 13th gen Intel's bottlenecking the 4070. Well, if you're bottlenecking it, then you need to tone something down to keep it to where it runs at a happy medium for your processor. Mine goes from 0 to 30%. That's it. I keep it between 0 and 30% for the processor. So it fluctuates. It has enough bandwidth to fluctuate. So if it goes up 30%, that's no big deal. If it goes up to 50%, that's a big deal. If it goes above 50% usage, this is usage. If your processor goes up above 50% usage with a high-end graphics card, then you got a real bottleneck with your CPU. That means your CPU is not powerful enough to run that graphics card. But if you can keep it down between 0 and 30, then you'll never have a problem with your CPU. And it doesn't matter what CPU you run. Okay? It does not matter. Graphics cards will run with any damn CPU on the market. Okay, some have more capabilities than the others, but you do your homework and find out what is the best CPU to run with on the market. Okay, everybody can say AM4 is dead and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Okay, go ahead and keep saying it. And that's why y'all keep running back to the AM4 series, because I guess it's dead. It ain't dead. It's just a matter of the fact that everybody's still staying on the AM4 series is because all the problems with the AM5 series, especially with the X3D section of the AM5 series, which I would never get the X3D. Okay. Well, that's for another story, for another video. Okay. We'll get into more of that, and I'll give you my thoughts then. But as far as when it comes to the drivers for Nvidia, okay. Damn, I did it again. Okay. Now, going back, this is my final thought with the 545.92 Nvidia software update. Okay. I've been running off of it the last couple days. It's been running spectacular. Not one problem. No blue screening, no nothing. As far as game playing, it's running all the games that I play awesome. very just top shelf. So do I have a problem with their Nvidia software? No. I have not yet had a problem with their software. Their software is top shape. Okay. You get what you pay for. Do remember this. And this is my conclusion on this. Do remember this. So stick with me till the end. And if you have stuck with me so far, I do thank you for sticking this far. So, but when it comes to, a prominent company, a big $1 trillion company, when it comes to their software, and they can't keep up with their software, there's a problem. Okay. But when you got a company that's, been in the market more years than another company, and they can't keep up with the software, and they got many software issues, that's a problem. You got a company that's just starting into the market of GPUs and fixing the driver software. That's not a problem. It's the ones that refuse to fix the problem is the problem. Now, AMD might have a great processor, but as far as when it comes to the graphics card capabilities, and I'm starting to see what a lot of people are saying with their discrete graphics cards, the blue screening and everything else. I have only had one blue screen moment with Nvidia, but that's with a different card. But that's with the GTX 730. That's because I didn't have the drivers in correctly. Because the drivers ended after a certain year. Excuse me. So that's what happened with that. So I understand about, having trouble with the blue screening and everything else. But when you put the software in correct, you put the software, you install the software correctly, you won't have that problem. Me, ever since I've gotten the 4070, I have not yet ever cleared out my drivers. I just stack one on top of the other. Any update, I just stack them one on top of the other. And I've done that all the way since I've gotten this 4070. I don't have blue screening. I don't have anything wrong. And everybody says, oh, don't do that, stacking this and that, this and that. You know what? There are certain DLL drivers that are installed on one software that might not be on another software. So basically, if you're going from one software to the next, like this, and you want to clear the drivers, guess what happens? The one DLLs that you might have on the previous, you don't have here on the next. So what happens? You get blue screening. Oh, that's because they didn't carry it over. When you do a new set of drivers, if you don't carry over the first bit and then add to the first bit to give you the second bit for the newest set, then guess what happens? Blue screen. And that's one thing AMD always does, is blue screen. So now you know why. The only thing that I think that was good as far as graphics for AMD was the iGPU on the 5000 series, the 5600G and the 5700G. Even though now they're going to be coming out with the 7000 series Gs, but they only got 2 CUs. Where the 5600Gs got 7 and the 5700Gs got 8. So why am I going to pay money for an integrated graphics for another series that's only got 2 CUs? Doesn't make sense. does not make sense why they have to make it so low. And, what is it, just that you're only going to use the, people can't afford graphics cards. They depend on integrated graphics. Again, those new graphics, new integrated graphics they got coming out is going to be dead in the water. Just to say. That's my thought about that. And when they get ready to come out with that, I'll make a video on that, and I'm going to tell you my opinion there. And I'm going to compare it to the 5700. I think the 5700G is the only one that has the best graphics when it comes to integrated for your GPU. For your processor and your integrated graphics together, yeah, 5700G, you can't go wrong. So, but anyway, this is the end of the video, and I do appreciate y'all making it to the end. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds. And did I say that wrong? Let's see. My first time subscribers, or if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. And all the new subscribers that subscribe, which we got 2 more, welcome to the family. Welcome to JJ's PC Builds. And my veteran subscribers, as always, much love to you for all that you do, watching the videos from beginning to end, and telling your friends to subscribe right here. Okay, I had to backtrack myself twice. My bad. I couldn't remember if I said it or not, because this video, the only thing I add to it is the subscribe and the ending, and boom, you guys get it. I don't edit the video whatsoever. If I make any mistakes, you see it, I correct it, end of story. So, but until the next time, and I mean the next time in the next video, this is JJ on JJ's PC Builds. We will see you on the next one.